Okay, this is going to be a little crude, but I want to get it on video because I had a good time. I went out this afternoon after work and went to the store and picked up a few things to try to do some fishing here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And it's the first time that I've tried to do that, even though I've been working here maybe close to 2 years coming up on, or a year and a half or something, that I've been working here in Albuquerque. So this is the first time that I've actually, went and got my license and all that stuff. And I wanted to go do some fishing. I had read that they stock trout in the drainage ditches that are next to, sorry about that. I was paying attention to the road. That are next to the river. And I had heard that they had stocked some trout in there, and that the Rio Grande River, I meant to say, they had stocked some trout in the drainage ditches that are just to the east. Is that right? Yes, the east of the river. Anyway, the hard part was finding a dang place where the road, because I'm in a car here, so finding a place where the road would connect to the river. And I was having a real tough time. A real tough time. I was about to give up, actually. And then I told myself, all right, let me go down this road and see if I got access there. And if not, I'm going to turn around and come back up one more road. And if I can't get into the river or to the drainage ditches, then I'm giving up. Because I had tried a few places. Some people said try Coors and Rio Bravo behind the Walmart. I've never fished there, but it looked kind of trashy. They put up a fence. I don't know if that fence has always been there, but there was a fence up. You probably could have crawled over the fence because it was knocked down, but it just looked very shallow and trashy. That's all I got to say. When they put up the fence, if that's something new, I think that's maybe not a very good idea. Or maybe they should put up a short fence or something so that it's still inviting to go in there instead of trying to keep everybody out, because the problem is all the trash gets in there and nobody gets in there and cleans it. But I know a lot of fishermen like myself, whenever they find trash laying around in a spot where they're fishing, we'll go pick up the trash and take it with us. So if you let people fish there, you probably, I don't know, you might end up better off. Who knows? Anyway, I did find a place, and I won't say where it is, but if you want to know, my contact information is on my blog, fishinmoney.com, fishin without a G, fishinmoney.com blog. And you can find my contact info, send me an email, I'll tell you where, or a text, either way, and I'll tell you where to go. But I did find a spot, and some people were catching them there, and apparently, since I'm new here, this is not my area, I was doing it the way I do it, and I wasn't really getting any bites, but I could see other people catching them, so I was watching to see how they were doing it, and I got a few pointers, a few tips, and I got a little bit closer and to what it was going to take to get it done. I could tell some people were using Berkeley power bait, and I've seen, not in this particular spot, but I've seen other people just using a worm. I didn't have any worms because when I went to get some, they were out, so I had to try something else. I tried a little black tube worm for trout. I had some trout potion, that smelly stuff to put on it. I tried that. I tried a little minnow. I tried that. I thought because the water was there was a lot more current in the water than I thought there would be. And so I had to put a lot of weight. I tried to put a lot of weight, and I did a drop shot rig where my weights were down on the bottom, stuck to the bottom, and my lure, my worm, was up about a foot off the ground, a foot and a half, and keeping it up out of the weeds and stuff, more presentable. the whole drainage area right there was probably no more than 2 or 3 feet. There was probably areas where it was deeper, but mostly about 3, maybe 4 feet at the most. And I saw a guy behind me walk up and had a whole stringer full of trout, and I thought, okay, I'm doing this wrong. Where did he get those? So I kind of picked up, because I had been in the same spot for a while. I picked up and went over to where he was, and I was getting bites. But I think my worm was a little too long, because they were grabbing the back of my worm and then letting it go. They weren't getting up all the way up to the hook. The worm itself was only maybe 3 inches, 2.5, 3 inches. They're just little black ones, little black rubber worms, little skinny ones, not your like bass worm, but way smaller. And anyway, I met a guy named Paul, and he was fishing on the other side of the river from me. I call it a river. I guess it's a river, a ditch, drainage, whatever. He was fishing on the other side of the river from me, and I saw him catch one over there. And then once I picked up and walked away, pretty soon he picked up and came over to where I was. He was on the other side of the ditch from me, and we had a little conversation and stuff. And so now's where I got to say I'm very grateful for Paul, because not only did he tell me what he was using, because he was catching a few on the other side and I wasn't. Not only did he tell me how he was doing it, when he was ready to go, he gave me what he had, and I really appreciate that. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, Vern. No, I'm not. I'm going the right way. Now I know where I am. Anyway, so I really appreciate Paul for giving me what he had. He was using I don't know if Berkeley makes these, but a little rubber white, looks like a rubber ball, but I guess it's made for trout bait. I've never used them before. A little bit bigger than a salmon egg. What it reminded me of is the head that's on the mouse tails. I've used mouse tails before. It looks just like the head that's on the mouse tails. I don't know if they sell them separately from the tail, or if it's broken off a mouse tail. Not sure. Maybe somebody can tell me about that, or I'll look next time I go to the bait shop. But anyway, he had a little white rubber little head that he put on it, and then wax worms. So I learned something there too, because to be honest with you, all these years I've been fishing, I've never used wax worms to fish with. I've used lots of different kinds of worms, but not wax worms. I've even used mealworms, but not wax worms. So I don't know where he got them. I'll have to do some research on that, but he gave me what he had. He had 3 wax worms left, and I'm sure he had more in his truck, he said, but we were kind of far away from the vehicles. And he gave me that little white head off of his hook. And so what did I do? I had to re-rig my rig, because I was using a drop shot rig, and he was using a Carolina rig. And I didn't really have the luxury. It was getting dark already. In fact, it was already dark, and I'm getting old. My eyes aren't that great, so I had to retie, and I had to try to do it in the dark. So I did the best I could, and which was okay, not the best that I've done that I know how to do, but the best I could do in the dark. I didn't have a flashlight. I'm traveling, you guys. I travel for a living, so I don't have my whole tackle box with me. I just have very minimal stuff, but now I know what I need over there, thanks to Paul. And he works for an airline, a well-known airline, that's all I'll say. I really appreciate it, Paul, if you find this video, because you taught me how to do it, and so now next time I go, I'll know how to do it. I'll know what to bring with me as well. That's what it's all about, you guys. Fishing, helping each other. He had a good time. He made sure I had a good time before I left. And I hope he finds this video, and he will, because I told him about my blog, and so that'll connect him to this video. So hopefully he'll find it in the future, but that's pretty cool that any fisherman will do that to help out other fishermen. So I appreciate it, Paul. I hope you guys are helping each other out as well whenever you can. And I'm not saying you have to give away your best spot, but if you see a guy standing there that's having trouble, give him a hand. Fishing's fun. It's more fun when you catch fish. So I got some pictures. I'll mix them up with this video and tell a little story, and I'll be putting this video on a blog as well. fishingmoney.com, come and see me. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. It's going to be on YouTube, so like and subscribe, and you'll see the new videos that I come out with. My videos are mainly to support my blog, fishingmoney.com. All right, see you guys. Happy fishing, tight line.